Dank times, Danker thoughts, sweet vibes and taking it sleazy. The dankness is taking over, nonsense is dancing through his mind. Oh, the dankness is taking over. Dank times, Danker thoughts with Angelo Grosso.
What up, what up, what up? It's your boy Angelo. Welcome to another episode of Dank Times, Danker Thoughts. Episode 68. So close to the magical 69. Well, what's up, everybody? I hope y'all are doing good. I hope you guys had a better weekend than the Seattle fucking Mariners. Literally like an hour or two after I finished recording the last podcast where I was singing their praises, they dropped 3 out of 4 to the lowly Kansas City Royals. And by the way, when we were losing games, Oakland was winning, Houston was winning, New York, Boston, Toronto were winning. Well, Toronto not so much. They're basically out of the playoffs now, but we barely won the 4th game. And the previous 3 that we lost, we were leading in 2 of them right away. I believe we were up 4-0 in the first game, and I think 3-1 in the first or the second. I don't know. We were up pretty good in the first 2 games, and Kikuchi and Gilbert both blew it. Third game, I don't remember any specifics about it, but we lost. I think I stopped watching it because our offense was putrid. But good God, Seattle Mariners, you can't even wait a week. You can't even win against the easy talent before you have to face the Tyrannosaurus Rex on steroids and cocaine that is the Houston Astros. That's who we're playing now. And it'll be a miracle of epic proportion if we win the series. And what are the odds, man? I'm praising you, and then you drop 3 or 4 to the fucking Royals, who have been out of the playoff chase for some time. Ugh, and it's our pitching. I don't know why Kikuchi and Gilbert have not been placed on the DL. They have pitched like shit since the All-Star break. You're telling me we have nothing at AAA or even AA? Here's an idea, Jared DePoto, general manager of the Seattle Mariners, if you're listening, because I think you are. Put Kikuchi and Gilbert on the DL. They've sucked for a while. Bring up Kirby and Hancock. September call-ups are happening tomorrow. Bring their asses up. What do you have got to lose? You're in a playoff chase in a season that nobody thought you'd be in a playoff chase. What do you have to lose? The odds of you ruining Gilbert's confidence is low. The odds of you somehow fucking up the progress of Hancock and Kirby is low. Kikuchi, I don't know what to tell you, man. He is the most bipolar pitcher that I have witnessed on the Seattle Mariners in some time. Probably since that fat fuck Carlos Silva. No, what the hell is his name? Not Carlos Silva. Is that a baseball player? Is that who I'm thinking of? Carlos Silva. We had a really fat, I think it was Venezuelan, that we traded Milton Bradley, who had CTE before it was cool. Let's see. Carlos Silva. Man, I am so good at useless fucking sports knowledge. Carlos Silva, Venezuelan professional baseball pitcher. Well, not anymore. Oh boy, but he was one fat fuck when we got him. And he pitched 2 or 3 games in a row pretty decently, and then he went probably 10 starts in a row where he barely made it out of the 3rd inning, but then he pitched good, and then he was bad again. Yeah, what is that called? Who's that villain from the old books who was a different person during the day than he was at night? You know who I'm talking about. It's like Victorian story. Dr. Jekyll and Hyde. There you go. So, put Kikuchi and Gilbert on the DL. Bring up Hancock. Bring up Kirby. You got nothing to lose. Well, you may lose a year of eligibility. Fuck all that noise. That's old Seattle Mariner management bullshit. That's what got Kevin Mather's racist ass fired. Now we have that hot chick running things. I assume she's hot. I don't remember what she looked like, but she's a woman, so I'm going to sexualize her because, I'm a white male. And if she's going to make an impact on this team, you got to step up and make some hard decisions. And hard decisions require putting flailing players on the injured reserve, injured list. Let them just work on the motions. Let them try to get out of their own head. Whatever it's got to be. Bring up the prospects. See what they got against top-tier talent in the playoff chase. Because even though we lost 3 out of 4 to the Kansas City Royals, we are still only, I believe, 5 games out of a wild card spot. We were 2 games when I recorded last time, but the goddamn Mariners shit the bed multiple times, like an alcoholic. Come on, Seattle Mariners. Oh, God. And if we win the series against the Astros, all of this will be for naught. But if you think the Seattle Mariners are going to win the series against the Astros, then I want to be drinking that Kool-Aid. I want to be drinking that Kool-Aid. Because what I've been drinking is fucking sour and tart. But anyway, before my head explodes, let's leave one Seattle franchise and go to another Seattle franchise for the 2021 Seattle Seahawks Primer with Angelo Grosso. Well, we haven't quite made the final cut down roster for the Seattle Seahawks, so I am a little early doing this, but we're playing in 2 weeks because we have a bye week this week. This is the first year of a 3-game preseason, so this week would normally be the 4th preseason game, and because of the trade-off there, we get a 17th game. So this is the first year of a 3-game preseason and 17-game season. So, that's kind of cool, I guess. You get one more official game and one less practice game, so that's kind of cool. I did not really watch the first 2 preseason games, and I'll be honest, I watched the first half of the last one because I heard that we were going to play starters. We didn't really. So, I don't really know the players that probably won't make the team anyway. I looked through the Seattle Times roster predictions that they released today, and it's hard for me to really disagree with them. In fact, while I'm talking, let me pull them up for reference. But before I go into all that, I will do some quick predictions here. Looking at the team as it is now, I highly doubt we're going to do any major trade unless, if the rumblings I've heard are true, we're looking at possibly trading Rashad Penny, and I've even heard Trey Flowers' name get floated. So if we do trade either of them, that would be a pretty decent-sized trade, even though Rashad Penny is your backup running back and Trey Flowers is your starter. But should he be? He was getting his ass kicked every preseason game I saw except the 3rd one, and he was playing against backups mostly. Mostly, not always, but mostly. So if we do trade Penny or Flowers, I hope we trade either for offensive line depth or defensive line depth. And you can never really have too good of corners, and that's where we're slacking in my opinion. Although as I was prepping this podcast, I do see that the Seahawks have made a small trade with Jacksonville to trade for Sidney Jones, former UW corner. He's kind of been a bust. I believe the Eagles drafted him in the top of the 2nd round a couple years ago. But he never really was healthy, and I don't know if his play ever really got better. He got cut, and then Jacksonville signed him last year to their practice squad, and he got called up near the middle of the season where he played 9 games and actually had a pretty good year. So much, in fact, that he got re-signed to come back this year in Jacksonville, but he must have not been able to survive final cuts, which I don't know is a good or a bad thing. Don't know who the Jags have at corner besides their 1st-round pick last year. Is it C.J. Henderson? Yeah, and I think they have someone else that's big over there, but I'm drawing a blank on. So, we do have Sidney Jones now, but I don't think he's a starter. Or at least he hasn't shown anything that he deserves to be starting. He's probably going to be your backup slot guy. But if you ask me where do we have our most glaring weakness, I will say it's absolutely defense. In fact, I think our defense is going to be worse, if not as good as last year, which is to say quite bad until we figure out our shit. I don't expect us to have a top 10 defense. I don't expect us to have a top 15 defense. I expect us to have a defense between 17 and 21. I don't think we're going to be that good on defense. We're not going to have an awful defense, but I'm not seeing it. I'm not seeing it. Unless the defensive line figures out some stuff, or maybe Darrell Taylor, who missed his entire rookie year last year, shows that he can be a consistent pass rush from the linebacker spot. Because that's where we moved him. We drafted him as a defensive lineman. Now we moved him to pass rushing linebacker, kind of like the Bruce Irvin role. And we're also moving Alton Robinson to the same spot. So we're going to have some speed rushers off the edge there. And then I think in run or just basically non-pass rushing situations, I think we're going to put Cody Barton there, which he's had probably the best preseason for any defender. And I would say the best offensive player in the preseason is the running back Alex Collins, who I liked when we drafted him, and we gave up on him so quickly. I don't think he was here for 2 seasons. And then he proceeded to have a decent year in Baltimore, a couple of good years in Baltimore. And I'm glad he's back on the team. That's probably why we may, or may not, but I'm thinking we may trade Penny, because we don't need him. We have Carson, and then Collins, and then Homer in Dallas. Do we really need a $3 million backup running back who hasn't been able to stay healthy like Penny? Get what you can for him. Linebacker, speaking of, I think is lacking in depth. We are moving our fullback, Nick Bellore, to be a linebacker, which he can play. He actually is a decent linebacker, but now we don't have a fullback. So we actually may keep 5 running backs. And if that's the case, we may actually keep Penny and not trade him. I don't know who would be the fullback, maybe Homer, but I don't think he's big enough, but I don't know, who knows. But I would say pass rush, linebacking, and of course the corners. I think safeties we're going to be good. We're going to be good on the safeties with Jamal Adams and Quandre Diggs if he gets paid. I think Diggs is holding out. And I like DJ Reed, but he's been hurt all preseason. Akella Witherspoon, we gave him a 1-year contract for a reason. The guy was up and down in San Francisco, and that's being polite. Ugo Amadi I really like, but he's a slot guy. Marquise Blair, who knows if he can stay healthy, but if he is healthy, he's a safety, and then he's a slot corner. We drafted Trey Brown. He played slot in college, and then we immediately said he's going to play on the outside, but he's been injured. We traded for a Houston Texan corner earlier last week, and I believe he was like a 4th or 5th round pick last year. What the hell's his name? I don't know, doesn't matter. He probably won't even make the final cuts. So, really, after going over this, I'm going to have to say number 1 point of need is going to be corners, and then pass rush, and then linebacker depth. The offense, I think we're pretty good. I think we're pretty good on the offensive line, but you can never have too much depth there. I think we're going to have damn good tight ends, depending if Colby Parkinson is healthy, and he's our 3rd tight end, so who gives a fuck. I think we have a damn good receiving core with, of course, Metcalf and Lockett arguably being in the top 5 at least wide receiver duos in the entire league. I'm excited to see Eskridge, the rookie. I think Freddie Swain deserves more playing time. It's too bad about John Ursua, he being lost for the year. And I think we're going to give that Penny Hart a better chance. And there, Aaron Fuller and Cody Thompson, a bunch of other names. Who knows if they'll make final cuts, but at the very least, I'm excited to see Eskridge, and I'm excited to see Swain, those two. And I don't know who the 5th receiver is going to be. Maybe that's going to be Penny Hart, because he's pretty good on special teams. Who knows? Running backs, I think we're solid with or without Penny. And, of course, quarterbacks. Russell's one of the best, although I still can't believe I fucking drafted him in fantasy. Ugh, what was I thinking? Geno Smith is a capable backup. I don't know why we didn't trade for Gardner Minshew. Philadelphia just gave up a fucking 6th round pick for him. Shit. He's backing up Jalen Hurts and Joe Flacco. I mean, he absolutely should be able to beat Joe Flacco for the backup job. And, he may beat Hurts. I don't think Hurts is that good of a quarterback yet. Will he ever be? Who knows? I'm not a Philadelphia fan. I don't have that in-depth knowledge. But, fuck you, Philly. You're the worst fan base in the whole country. I know you agree, LaFonda. So, all in all, I think the Seahawks are going to get 10 wins this year. We're going to go 10-7. LaFonda, chill. Do you think they're going to do better than 10-7? Is that what you're meowing at me? You think they're going to go, 11-6? Not 12-5. Get out of here. Okay. So, I don't know what y'all think, but you can put me down for the Seattle Seahawks going 10-7. Now, I'm looking at the roster here, or at least the predictions by the Times. I'm trying to see anything that I disagree with. Let's see. They have the Seahawks keeping 5 running backs as well, since we don't really have a fullback. 3 tight ends, yeah. Oh, okay, so they think we're going to keep Penny Hart. Okay. If I was going to choose one, it's hard to pick against Penny Hart because he is a Pete Carroll favorite, but I got to say, Aaron Fuller looked pretty good in the preseason. Same with Cody Thompson. But that's if they keep 5. I think they're going to keep Penny Hart. If they keep 6, I think Cody Thompson or Aaron Fuller may make the cut. Offensive line, let's see. They have us keeping a lot of offensive linemen. Wait. We only should be keeping 10 offensive linemen. How many do they have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, I'm just stupid and I can't count. Yeah, I agree with that. Defensive line, what do they got here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 defensive linemen. Got to have 2 ends on each side and 4 defensive tackles. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Well, I don't think we need 9. They think we're going to keep Robert Nkemdiche, but I don't think he's played much. Okay, they also have listed here Taylor and Robinson, but they're going to be linebackers. I see what they're doing because the linebackers, they have us only keeping 4, and you need at least 6 linebackers, in my opinion. They got Nick Bellore, the fullback, as the backup to Wagner and Cody Barton. And then if you put 2 more there, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, that would be 6. Okay, man, I am bad at counting here. So yeah, we agree with the linebackers. Defensive backs, let's see, do they have us keeping? Okay, Witherspoon, Reed, Flowers, Amadi, Blair, Brown, Ryan Neal. Okay, John Reed, that's the guy that we got from the Texans. Obviously, they don't have Sidney Jones on here since the trade just happened. But that would mean one of these guys ain't going to make the cut. And if I was going to choose one that wouldn't make it, I would say between Trey Flowers and Ryan Neal. But Ryan Neal played decent last year. But every team's got a Ryan Neal. But we did trade for John Reed. Would we cut him after we trade for him? I don't know. I'm going to choose either Flowers or Neal are going to lose out to the Sidney Jones pick. And special teams, yeah, Myers, Dixon, and our long snapper, Ott, who you never want to know your long snapper's name, because if you do, that means he's fucking up. So I think we can all agree on that, right? A 10-7 record. I think we may get second in the division. I don't think Arizona is going to be as good as people think they are. I think San Francisco will have a decent defense. But I just can't believe in that offense until I see Garoppolo healthy. And maybe Trey Lance will show up and light things up. Last I heard, he chipped his finger on something, so he's out at least a week, so who knows. But until I see something in the quarterback position, I don't really think the 49ers are going to have a good offense. I can't even think of their running back either. They have 2 or 3 good young wide receivers, but that's about it. And of course, I think the team to beat this year is the Rams. I think Matt Stafford is a step up from Goff. Not much. I don't know why people are on Matt Stafford's dick like he's all of a sudden the next coming of Tom Brady. He's not. He's been on some pretty damn good Detroit Lions teams, and I don't think he's ever won a game in the playoffs. He is a above average. He once was an elite quarterback. I would say a couple of years ago he was probably in the top 6 quarterbacks. Now, I would say he's probably top 11, which is better than Goff. Goff, I would say he'd be in the 20s. But Matt Stafford of 2021 on a new offense, on a new team, I can't imagine he's going to play on fire right away. I think he may play like a top 15 quarterback, but that's about it. And that's really because of the schemes and the players on that offense. I mean, the Rams' offense is loaded. And who they traded just for a running back. Who the hell was it? Because their starter got injured. What the fuck did the Rams trade for? It doesn't matter. That defense, of course, is going to be excellent yet again. So I think the Rams may go 12 or 13 wins. whereas the Seahawks are going to get 10. I still think we're going to make the wild card. In fact, the NFC West may have 2 wild card teams beyond the obvious winner. So all in all, the NFC West may have 3 teams in the playoffs. You can mark me down for that one too, baby. So let's see. Is there anything else I want to talk about? Mariners are breaking my heart. I'm excited about the Seahawks. Fantasy football, I already did something on that. Although it seems like Irv Smith Jr., my backup tight end, he's going to be out for a couple of weeks. So that sucks. And of course, my hearts go out to anybody who drafted J.K. Dobbins, starting running back in Baltimore, who tore his ACL in the last preseason game. And of course, he went off the hinges today talking about why the hell was he even out there playing? Why was there any starters playing? It's a goddamn practice game. Of course, he's all heated up because his 2021 season is done. And of course, I already went over the St. Louis Rams running back who's out for the year. So it is tough to see starters get injured. It's tough to see players get injured at all. But in terms of fantasy football, it's tough to see playmakers get injured in the preseason. You don't want to see it happen. But anyway, I think that's it for sports. I can't really think of anything else. I'm kind of following the Kraken, but I'm not that invested yet until the season starts. I was just reading how we're apparently not going to sign our first round pick because that's a thing. I thought that was only in baseball, and it's rare for first round picks in baseball not to sign. Maybe it's more common in hockey. I don't know. Basketball, I really don't give a fuck about. The UW football is starting, and I'm pulling for him, of course, my alma mater. Don't know much about the quarterbacks. I know we got a Heward as the backup, so maybe he'll see time. I don't know. I don't know who our starter is. The last starter I remember was Jacob Eason, and he is now the backup to Carson Wentz in Indianapolis, so who the fuck knows? So anyway, I think we're done with sports here. Let's move on to the dating life. All right, I had to take a quick break there and cook some dinner. What am I having tonight is spaghetti Cacio De Pepe, which basically is a fancy word for buttery Alfredo pepper. So you take your standard spaghetti, al dente it, and then you throw in the cheese and the pepper. And this, my mouth is watering just describing it to you. I'm such a Guido. I'm so excited. It's actually sitting in a bowl, chilling because I cooked it. I'm probably cooking it a little bit too long because the sauce was looking a little watery to me. In fact, if I'm being brutally honest here, I think I may have added a tiny bit too much water to the cheesy Alfredo sauce. And I had to cook it a little bit longer to dry up some of that, to kind of curdle it a little bit. And as I was pouring the sauce on top of the bird basket spaghetti, which I love, my mouth is literally watering. Sorry, it sounds like I'm fucking drunk here. And as I was pouring the sauce on top of it, it just looked a little too liquidy for me. For my taste, I like my Alfredo sauce not to be like ooey gooey thick, but I wanted to have kind of a light gravy texture, you know? So I don't think I achieved that. So I haven't even tasted my dinner tonight, but I'm already going to be giving it probably a 6 out of 10. I hope I didn't fuck it up. But anyway, not really much to update y'all on in terms of the dating life. The girl who stood me up last week, which I talked about on the last podcast, I thought I deleted the messages. But she did actually message me back a couple days after that podcast, apologizing and saying that this is so unlike her. She never forgets these things. And the problem was that she didn't write it down. And I, of course, called her bluff. I said, well, it must not have been that important to you. And then I actually did delete it like I thought I did. But that is some bullshit excuse. I didn't write it down. No, bitch. We were talking every day, for the most part, every day. And then you come up with the idea for a virtual date, and then you stand me up and you don't text me back for, I think it was like 4 days. And then you come back with, I'm so sorry. Not even an explanation. Oh, I was on vacation. A shark ate my cell phone. My grandmother died pushing an older woman out of the way of a train. You know, make up something, bitch. Don't just say I forgot to write it down. What is this? The fucking 1700s? Oh, there's no electricity. Everything is by candle, and we have to send mail that takes weeks to reach you. I am sorry. I am so old-fashioned like that. Give me a break, bitch. Anyway, that one's actually done. Like I said, it's on me. I thought I deleted it, but apparently I was too high and forgot. Besides that, nothing much. I'm still talking to my Ukrainian lady friend, and it's so fucking shitty, guys. She was docked in Seattle over the weekend, okay? And she could not leave the ship, and I could not go on the ship, of course. So even though we were so close, we were very, very, very far. And it's cruel, in a sense, to have that connection with someone, and because of, you know, reasons that make sense, like a pandemic and shit, but just, and you gotta have rules on the job. You can't just have strangers walking on a ship. I get that. But in normal times, she absolutely, obviously could leave the ship for a little bit, so I could have at least seen her for a little bit when she was docked here for 2 days. And this is going to continue, she said, for at least 4 months. And we're both very depressed about it. And we're still talking every day. But it's shitty because the reception is so bad on those ships. But when we do video and when we do talk, it is wonderful. But I just got to play the waiting game, I guess. I tell you, what's this cliche saying about dating? There's plenty of fish in the sea. Well, I don't know what my fucking bait is, but I am not getting the good ones. And when I do get the good ones, I'm forced to throw them back for some reason. So that's how it feels. But, yeah, I can't believe that bitch lying to me. Oh, I didn't write it down. I'm usually not like this. She worked for the Department of Health. If she's this unorganized, no wonder COVID rollout was fucking awful. I don't know if there's a connection between the COVID rollout and the Department of Health. I'm just making that jump in logic because it's the Department of Health and COVID involves health. And so I would imagine the Department of Health would affect something to do with COVID. So am I blaming this girl for the poor COVID-19 rollout? No. Do I think she had something to do with it? Maybe. Oh god, I hope YouTube doesn't kick this fucking video off. Anyway, people, I'm literally drooling in my beard, so I'm gonna go eat this motherfucking spaghetti. Alright, well, I'm still currently eating the spaghetti, but I gotta tell you, I was dead on with my assumption. It's good, it is good, but the sauce is too runny. So not only is the sauce too runny, but my fat fucking ass was so excited to eat this that I shoved a mouthful into my mouth without even checking the heat. Burned the fuck out of the roof of my mouth. Now my mouth is burned, the sauce is kind of watery, and I checked the Mariners game. It's the top of the first inning against the Astros. We're already down 2-0. Oh, God. So what are you going to do? But I think we have time to discuss a topic that I heard posed in one of my favorite podcasts, Yanni Long Days, with Giannis Papoulis, an amazing comedian on YouTube. He's got a great podcast on there. Check out Giannis Papoulis, Yanni Long Days. He was answering fan mail, and someone posed to him, where will America's next war be? Basically, where's the next Iraq and the next Afghanistan, the next Vietnam? And actually, I started thinking about it, and so I think I have a clue where we might go, so let's get into it. I don't know why I was complaining about that spaghetti Cacio De Pepe, because even though the sauce was runny, I still ate that shit like I was eating pussy. I mean, just... I probably ate the whole meal in less than 7 minutes. A new record! So anyway, who do I think America's next war will be against? Here's who I hope it won't be with. So let's start with who we won't go to war with, because I sure hope we don't. Now, this may surprise some of y'all, but then it kind of makes sense. If China fucks with Taiwan bad enough I believe America will intervene, or the United Nations. And if that happens, if the next war is in Taiwan, ooh, I mean, you're fighting against Chinese in that point. Now, does that mean America will be at war with China? No, I don't think so. Just like the Korean War wasn't really us against the Koreans. There was a lot of Chinese soldiers in there as well. That's my understanding. That was my U.S. history class from back in high school. So the data may be a little mixed up in my brain, but that's what I think. I think I'm right on that. So if we do go to war in Taiwan, it'll be kept in Taiwan. Worst case scenario, of course, you're at war with China, and then life doesn't matter because all of the atomic bombs are there between them and us. So that would truly be tragic and awful for every human being in the planet, because it wouldn't just be us. You would get Russia involved, and you would get the United Nations involved, all those countries. And anyway, I don't want to think about World War III because that's basically what it would be. So I'm hoping it's not Taiwan. The other country that I hope we don't fuck with would be North Korea. Kind of the same reasons with Taiwan, is that North Korea actually has devastating weapons. They have way worse weapons than Taiwanese. And of course, it would be kind of a proxy war between us and China as well. So those two, I absolutely don't think we're going to go against, because that goes against mankind's survival. Some of you may not think of it this way, but we've had a drug war against the Mexican cartel for decades. So technically, we are not at war with Mexico, but we are at war with the Mexican cartel. There is a war happening in Turkey between them and the Kurds. And of course, Somalia, they've been having a civil war since when I was a child, 1991. So, actually, spoiler alert, one of the places where I think America may intervene and actually declare war on is in Somalia. That was one of my top 3, because I'm only going to do 3. I'm not an expert, but I just did a little bit of research. So, I find this entertaining a little bit. So, I think number 1 would be Somalia. I don't know what America would get out of it. Now, if we go into it as a humanitarian, which, supposedly we did in Iraq and Afghanistan as well, and I don't really think we did much humanitarian aids over there. But anyway, if we go into Somalia under the guise of humanitarianism, I hope we actually do it. Technically, there's still wars happening in Libya, even though Libya basically isn't a country anymore. And is Iraq still going? Is that still going on? Iraq? I mean, I know we're out of Iraq, but isn't there a war still happening? Let's see. Iraq is on the list. Let's see. Okay. We withdrew in 2011, but returned in 2014 as insurgencies and civil conflict continued. Okay, so we are still in Iraq. Wait a minute. Are we still in Iraq? God damn. Are we still in Iraq? This is crazy. I thought we were out. Since ISIS was driven from its last Iraqi stronghold in 2017, U.S. officials have consistently maintained that since there are currently no combat operations authorized in Iraq, there are no combat troops in the country. That was from July 26, 2021. U.S. to announce troop drawdown from Iraq. So we still have troops there. Okay. So we're basically fighting, but we're not fighting. So we are fighting still. So we still fucking got people in Iraq. Jesus. But anyway, this is who we're going to go to next. I already told you one. Somalia. And I can go a little bit more in depth here over it. Let me pull up my Somalian stuff here. The Somali Civil War from 1991 is still happening, but that's with a lot of different presidents and countries. Where's the current one? 21st century. Oh, damn it, I clicked 19th century. Motherfucker. Here we go. Okay, well, technically we've been involved in Somalia, but we haven't actually gone to war with them. And who are we fighting against? More Islamic terrorists. You have the Daesh, you have the Al-Shabaab, George Walker Bush fucked with them. Barack Obama fucked with them hard. Donald Trump did too, but I don't really remember what he actually did over there. But we are still currently drone striking in Somalia. We are still currently raiding Al-Shabaab militants. And the African Union is currently intervening. We backed the Ethiopian invasion in 2006. I have no idea how that went. I'm not going to read about it. Kenyans intervened in it. There was a new federal government established in 2012. Who knows if that's still around? Majority of the U.S. troops withdrew in January 2021. Oh, well, maybe I'm wrong on this, but shit is still happening in Somalia, so I'm keeping it on the list. Let's see. And also, you always hear about the Somalian pirates. So we may not declare war on Somalia, but we may declare war on the Somalian pirates because Barack Obama sure droned the fucking shit out of those pirates. Libya, technically to me, is not a country anymore. However, we did overthrow their government under Barack Obama. That was a war. And now there is a post-Civil War, which we did the quick version to Afghanistan and Libya in a matter of, like, I think a couple years, right? 2011, and then we were out in 2014. Yet the post-Civil War violence in Libya leading to the second Civil War in 2014. We probably will go back in Libya. God damn it. So there's another one for you. Even though I just said I don't think we would, but... Well, let's see. Hold on a minute. Oh, ISIS is taking over Libya now. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. American intervention in Libya, 2015 to 2019. That says this is under Obama and Donald Trump. Okay, what's happening here? Liberation of Sirte. Hundreds of airstrikes carried out in Libya against Islamic State affiliated militant groups. ISIS presence in Libya severely diminished. Airstrikes ceased in 2019. However, the Libyan civil war continues. I mean, whenever we attack things and shit is still happening, we always are going to go back. So that's why I still have Somalia on there. And even though I still don't think Libya is technically a country at this point, they're on the list too. So you got one African nation and you got one Middle Eastern nation. Now the third one, you may be surprised. It's not Syria, but I will throw one out there and say Yemen. We have been bombing Yemen for a long time. Yemen, I've always been told, it's basically a very strong terrorist recruitment country. However, it's hard to blame them when we've been bombing the shit out of them for some time. Actually, how long have we been fucking with Yemen? Oh, yes. How America enables war in Yemen. Yeah, and this is from foreignaffairs.com, so you know it's right. Ugh. Yeah, so there's still a war happening in Yemen. So those are my three. I'm not too knowledgeable about Yemen, obviously. I do know that we've been intervening with them for some time. And a wild card outside of Libya, Yemen, and Somalia would be Jordan. I don't think they are our allies. Let's see. Jordan, America, allies. Because am I full of shit here? People, I researched this a couple days ago. Jordan has been a very close major non-NATO ally of the United States. Shit! So it wasn't Jordan. Damn it. Wait, is it? So, people, I'm not lying to you. There was a fourth one that I was keeping as a wild card. It wasn't Libya or Somalia or Yemen. What the fuck? If it's not Jordan, it's not Iran. I hope not. By the way, I forgot to mention Iran. Iran is on the I hope we don't fuck with them list. Same as Venezuela. I don't want to fuck with any of those countries. Any country, really. Oh, man, why can't I remember it? Oh, well. If I have to pick a wild card off the top of my head, I will say Pakistan. Because we go in there and bomb their shit without getting their permission all the time, so they may finally say enough is enough. So, that's the wild card, baby. Pakistan. So, you can come back a year from now or a couple months from now, whenever we start the next war, and say, Angelo, you were right. We are now going to war in Somalia, or Yemen, or Libya. I didn't see it coming, but we attacked Pakistan. It's awful. I hope we don't. I hope we don't go to any more wars. I hope we finally learned our lesson. The American public and the president, and, well, any president who's not bought off by the military-industrial complex. I really do hope, though, we get a new, younger crop of politicians that are not beholden to the military like that. And they will actually ask the hard questions and look at things not from what can America get out of this country by bombing its civilians, by attacking a third world country, in a lot of instances, a fourth world country. What do we have to gain from that? Whereas we should look at it from a humanitarian, empathetic, compassionate standpoint, saying, where can we send soldiers to legitimately help people and take nothing out of return? And in fact, if we're going to send soldiers into a nation to help stifle horrific violence or genocide or whatever's going on, we also have to absolutely get the United Nations and NATO involved, because it can't be all on us and like France and Britain and Australia and a few other, Germany. It can't be all up to us. We have to get a consensus. And honestly, I briefly mentioned it a couple podcasts ago, but I also hope that the recruitment in this country goes down for the armed forces. I hope that the younger generation sees that what the fuck is the point of this? We don't have a good record post World War II. We did horrible things in Korea and Vietnam and Kosovo and Serbia, and I mean, I could go on and on and on. Those are just from the 80s and 90s, but just, it doesn't matter. What the fuck, right? Come on, stop this shit, man. I think the U.S. presidents just need to have like a old school none with the ruler, just bashing their knuckles whenever they want to start a war. Not just the president, that should be to all the military generals. I mean, fuck the military generals. I will support the military meeting the soldiers, because let's face facts. If you're 19 or 20 signing up to go join the military, you're not that smart to begin with. 9 times out of 10. That's all I'm saying. Most of the people I've met that joined the military that young, I'm talking 18, 19, 20, the mass majority of them wish they didn't. The mass majority of them said that they were too young and stupid and ignorant of things. And, you know, this may be controversial to some, but if it was up to me, I don't think you could legally join the military till you were at least 21. At least 21. Maybe women could join earlier at 21 because they're smarter than men at 21. Because let's face facts, people. Your frontal lobe doesn't develop for most people until you're 25 or 26. And that's most people. And since women tend to be more mature than men earlier on, maybe a 21-year-old female is more mature in certain areas than a 21-year-old male is. So let the women join early, but then the men should absolutely wait until, 25 really. I mean, that would be insane. That's never going to happen. You need young, stupid people to die in the front lines for rich people. That's never going to happen. But I just hope recruitment numbers dip and the military-industrial complex will start to see itself for what it really is as a warmonger. You're not fixing anything. I mean, we didn't do fucking shit in Afghanistan besides line the pockets of corrupt, wealthy individuals. Fucking military contractors got wealthy. It was all disgusting. All we did was help the rich get richer. We killed thousands and thousands and thousands of civilians, turned an entire generation against us because how can you blame them? We've been there 20 years. Children have grown up seeing American planes dropping bombs. They have seen American drones. They have seen soldiers killing people. I mean, I know we didn't go over there specifically to kill the people, but hey, casualties happen. And they happened a fucking bunch in Afghanistan and everywhere we've gone. Everywhere. It's horrific. War is never justified unless it's something like a World War II when you have a madman wiping out an entire race of peoples. It's disgusting what constitutes wars these days. There's no class. Where's the good old wars when you actually were fighting for something like survival? God, these wars now are over fucking money and oil and opium. Come on, or religion. Jesus, how lazy do you have to be, man? I wish I could resurrect good warmongers like Genghis Khan, Alexander the Great, Napoleon, and then sit these kids today down and be like, here's what wars were fought about when they actually meant something. What a bunch of bullshit. What a bunch of hogwash. Anyway, I hope I'm wrong. I hope we never go to war again, but this is America, so that's probably never going to happen. But let's move on to some happier stuff, such as I saw a really good documentary lately. I saw the Val Kilmer documentary on Amazon Prime, and I highly, highly, highly recommend it. I don't know if you're a fan of Val Kilmer or even know who he is. I became a fan of Val Kilmer in 1995. That was the year that Batman Forever came out. I was 9, right? I was born in 86. Yeah, so I was 9. 9 or 8, actually, depending on when the movie came out, but it doesn't matter. The point being, I was the demographic for that movie, and boy, did I buy into it. I must have watched that movie easily 20 times from 95 to 97. My poor parents. But I had a lot of friends who loved the movie. I think the first time a lot of us popped wood was watching Nicole Kidman or Val Kilmer, depending on your preference. Actually, he wasn't the sexy one in that movie. I think that was Robin. Who played Robin? What the fuck? O'Donnell. Chris O'Donnell. He played Robin. That's right. So anyway, I became a fan of Val Kilmer as a kid. And then I think I saw the movie The Saint a couple years later. And I definitely watched The Prince of Egypt, where he voiced God and Moses in the movie theater. And I definitely saw At First Sight in 99. I think that was the movie where he was a blind man and he was in love with Mira Sorvino. And then he got surgery and he could see again. And then I remember a scene where he was getting used to the vision. He walked through a glass wall at a party and he embarrassed himself. But then I really don't remember much, because then I started high school and who the fuck cares about Val Kilmer? But in high school, I got obsessed with Jim Morrison and the Doors. Obsessed. So I thought, I remember as a kid seeing a movie called The Doors. I rented it. I saw Val Kilmer was playing Jim Morrison, and good God, he is a motherfucking clone of Jim Morrison. I watched that movie probably as a junior in high school, and it changed my life. It did, actually, not to be dramatic. It really did. I'm biased here, of course, but I legitimately hold the 1991 Oliver Stone movie The Doors up as the best music biopic ever made. At least ever made that I have seen. Is it the best overall movie? No. No. There's actually a lot of glaring weaknesses in the movie. However, the performances, the story, the acting, and the cinematography on those concert scenes, I still haven't seen a movie do better. And that's when I kind of became a pretty big Val Kilmer fan. Now, I'm going to admit something to y'all. Y'all probably thinking, how the fuck hasn't he mentioned Top Gun yet? That was Val Kilmer's big movie. That was the movie he should have seen way before he's seen anything else. Well, I'm ashamed to say, I have never seen the movie Top Gun. Oh, I know. You thought I was an American, but I'm commie scum. What kind of American hasn't watched Top Gun? An embarrassing one. Maybe if I watch Top Gun, I will be less harsh on my country. I don't know. I don't know if that's the freedom movie that gets everyone's patriotism turned into nationalism. I don't know. And then I watched Willow. I saw Willow for the first time, I think, in middle school, but I didn't know that was Val Kilmer until much, much, much later. And what other movie? He was good in Tombstone, of course. But again, here's another confession. I have seen Tombstone, but I saw it when I was a real cunty, pricky kid in high school, when I thought anything popular was for jerk-offs. And I actually believe this, that I preferred the Kevin Costner movie called Wyatt Earp over the Tombstone movie. And they both came out the same year, I believe, in 93 or 94. And I watched them both, and I was such a egotistical prick. Ugh. Oh, you prefer Tombstone? The movie that everybody enjoys? No, that movie sucks. I couldn't even finish it. Kurt Russell and Val Kilmer? Awful. You know who I really enjoy? Kevin Costner, and who else was in that shit-ass movie? Michael Madsen? Yeah, I prefer the Kevin Costner, Michael Madsen movie, Wyatt Earp. Oh, thank you very much. And then in high school, I also saw another one of my top movies of all time, Heat. Michael Mann's Heat. Oh, it's one of the best overall movies that I've ever seen in my life. Easily top 50, maybe even top 25 all time to me. I don't know. Now, I did see some of his bombs, like The Island of Dr. Moreau. I even watched the documentary about the making of that movie, and it is awful. The Ghost in the Darkness I enjoyed. He had a small part in Pollock, of course. Now, Red Planet was a pile of shit, and I think that actually killed his career. Between Red Planet, At First Sight, and The Island of Dr. Moreau, and The Saint, even though I enjoyed The Saint, they all kind of bombed. And I don't know if At First Sight actually was a hit. The Prince of Egypt was a big hit, but that's animation, you know. And I think that's when his stars started to fall. He was in a movie in 2002 that I still enjoy. In fact, I may rewatch it. The Salton Sea. Now, you know, there's a recommendation from me. If you want to watch a good Val Kilmer movie that I don't think got even a theatrical release. I think it was straight to DVD. Or if it did play in the theaters, it was very small. The Salton Sea in 2002. I'm not going to tell you a dick about it. You just have to go watch it. Now, I did see Wonderland, where he played the big-dicked John Holmes. I didn't really think the movie was that good. I didn't think it was awful, but it wasn't that good. Masked and Anonymous, people like that movie, but he had a small part in it, no big deal. And this is where he started to kind of go down a little bit as a starring actor. Spartan, people kind of like Spartan, but I didn't enjoy it. Alexander, I was so excited to watch that movie, but that's one of the worst movies that I've ever paid money to go see. Now, saying all this, I will argue a top 3 Val Kilmer movie all time. And it goes to me. It goes Jim Morrison, number 1. And this is number 2, this movie I'm going to talk about. And then number 3, I haven't seen Top Gun. And I need to rewatch Tombstone. So out of the movies I've seen him in, I will say the number 1 best role, Jim Morrison. Number 2, I'm going to tell you. And number 3, I'll give you, even though it didn't require great acting, but he was excellent in it, Heat, number 3. Anyway, his second best acting, which I don't know how he didn't get nominated for Best Supporting Actor, was Kiss Kiss Bang Bang in 2005, which was also the first big movie for Robert Downey Jr. to show that he's clean and sober. So you also have Kiss Kiss Bang Bang to thank for Iron Man, you bitches. Oh, I love that fucking movie. I've seen it 3 times, I think, but I'm gonna have to watch that shit again. And then after that, not much. He was pretty good in MacGruber, but I just love MacGruber. But, you know, it's not an excellent film, but it's pretty damn funny. And then after that, nothing. But the documentary isn't just about his career. It's about him, because he's still alive. And it talks about his family. It talks about what he's currently going through involving throat cancer, which I don't think that's news. I think it was quite big news that he had cancer, but I think we all know that he beat it, right? I knew that he beat it anyway. But actually, you know, maybe it wasn't big news, because I remember people were surprised that he had cancer after watching the documentaries. I don't know. Maybe I'm just more in the know in Hollywood gossip, unfortunately. So I highly recommend the documentary Val on Prime. Even if you're not a fan of Val Kilmer, watch it. You got nothing else going on in your life? Come on. Either watch Val, watch Reservation Dogs, watch Miss Pat, watch Dave, or, I mean, everyone's watching Marvel's What If. I don't really, you know, go fuck yourself if you're not watching Marvel's What If. Speaking of Marvel, on Wednesday, I'm going to go see the Shang-Li and the 10 Rings. I think that's the name of the movie. I got free tickets somehow, so I'm definitely going to go. So I'll let you know how I think of that movie. I'm pretty excited to see it. To me, this looks like the first like legit Marvel movie since Avengers Endgame. Black Widow kind of sucked, and is that the only one that's come out since then? Fucking quarantine, fucking COVID ruining my sense of time. But anyway, with that, I think we can wrap things up. I've rambled on long enough. I love y'all. Stay sleazy. Don't do anything I wouldn't do. Treat others as you want to be treated. And you know what? Sometimes you just have to say, fuck it. I'm going to have myself an ice cream chocolate sandwich. And if you're going to do that, go to Trader Joe's. And my mouth is watering thinking about this ice cream sandwich I'm about to eat. They have the best ice cream sandwiches. But get the one that's got a chocolate chip as the cookie. And then inside is the ice cream. There's chocolate chips in that too. But it's a different kind of chocolate chips. So you have 2 kinds of chocolate chips in a cookie with ice cream. Oh my god, I'm gonna wrap this motherfucker up and just drink this fucking cookie. All right, bye.